Hi friends, this is Caitlin. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm sharing a really fun pop-up envelope card that I made using some new items from Pink & Main's November release that just came out on Friday. So this is the year-round fun stamp set, and Pink & Main has been coming out with some new planner products this year. And so I think in an ideal world, like this is technically a planner stamp set, and I use a planner, but when I first saw this, I immediately knew I wanted to make a really fun, like timeless card, right? Like an evergreen year-round card that you could just give to someone that you love. So especially if you have friends who like to display cards or art, I have a couple of those, and I feel like this is right up their alley. So I'm starting out by making my pop-up envelope card itself. This is another die set from Pink & Main. It's so easy to use, so easy to put together. I've made a bunch of these cards now. It folds over flat so that it's super easy to ship. You basically have that back panel, that's the back of the envelope, our front panel. I'm layering some pattern paper over my pebble craft kind of colored cardstock. Going in with some easy tear, really thin tape that makes it really easy to add this little shelf right to the middle. And this is the shelf we're going to be attaching all of our little critters to make it look like all the holidays are just popping up out of one card. So you kind of just like shift it over from one side to the other, make sure your tabs are both glued on really well. And then I stamped the bottom part of the sentiment directly onto my envelope. I wasn't sure how I was going to add the happy part, but we'll get there in the end. I just knew to start out with, this is, for sure this line was going here. It says like happy everything, every day, all the time, or something like that. It's so cute. I'll show it at the end. I didn't do all of the stamps. There's so many on here. I think I skipped like Thanksgiving, and some of them have doubles. But I got New Year's, 4th of July, birthday, Halloween, Cinco de Mayo, St. Patrick's Day, and Christmas. So there was also like Easter, Thanksgiving, and there were so many. They're just adorable. So I stamped them all out on Copic Express It with my Honeybee Stamps Intense Black ink because I decided to color these up with my Copic markers. If you are someone who comes to hang out with us live with Pink & Main, I'm over there every Tuesday and Thursday night at 8:30, live on Pink & Main's YouTube channel and Facebook page. And normally we, in the past, have been using Olos and Copics kind of back and forth. Now I'm only using Olos over there. So if you need some extra Copic coloring tips, over here is the best place to find them. And if you haven't joined us over there, I suggest you try. It's really fun. We're on usually for about an hour, and it's a good time. We get up to some really fun things, and I never rehearse things ahead of time. So what you see is what you get. And sometimes a group has to kind of help me work through some thoughts while we create. I really enjoy it. So for my 4th of July bear, I'm using the same markers for all of the bears. I'll bring in some warm grays here for my little mouse, and we'll use some E20s for the other little teeny bear, gerbil, whatever he is. That's the St. Patrick's Day one. But for all the bears, I did the same blend. The 4th of July bear obviously got the red, white, and blue hat, and I added a little gold to the sparkler. My little mouse here got some warm grays, and I'm using YR 24 and 21, and then a little pop of a brighter yellow there with the Y00 to shade in his hat and his little taco. And came back in with that wire 24 to add a little bit more texture. Then I brought in some red and green and shaded his little mustache with some dark brown, and then he's all set. This E30 blend is the one I was talking about that I use for all of the bears. So E35, 33, and 31. I left in all of the coloring for them because even though it's the same color combination, the shading placement is a little bit different. So on that 4th of July bear who's facing towards the left, the right-hand side of him got way more shadow. And then versus like this Halloween one where he's facing completely center, the shading is more even throughout both sides. So I just wanted to leave them in, even though I know that can be a little repetitive. I like to see where people place all of their shadows. And I know when I was starting out coloring, it was even more important to me then. So yeah, I just think this is a super fun, sweet card. I love how it turned out. I wanted to share it over here with you guys, but it's also part of an Instagram hop that is happening. The hop is open the day I'm posting this all the way through November 30th. So if you're seeing this the week of Thanksgiving, go over to Instagram. I have the link down in the description. You can hop along for your chance to win a Pink and Main gift card. And what better way to treat yourself for the holidays than to win yourself a little gift card, right? For my little New Year's Eve bear that I'm coloring up right now, I decided he needed a little black bow tie. My favorite New Year's Eve color combo is black and gold. So I gave him a little champagne and a little black and gold hat, and his tie is black. It's very cute. For his coloring through the glass, where the glass overlaps his face, I didn't take my E35. I just stuck with the lighter 2, and that helps to look like you're seeing it through that glass and liquid. There you go. This little bear that's like hugging this giant candy cane is so cute to me. For the candy cane, I added all of my shading at once using some those neutral grays and shading that inside like curve of the candy cane. And then I'll go back in and just add red here and like to the stripes. It's way easier to do that than trying to do individual sections and working back and forth between your markers. There's too high of a chance with those reds that they're going to bleed or shift. So I don't worry about it. I just add the gray to everything because worst case, it just gives you extra dimension to your coloring. Like, why wouldn't you want that? And it's so much easier on yourself. I used all of the same reds for my candy cane that I did for the little bear's hat and scarf. This little birthday one, I really wanted to pull in the rainbow colors of the pattern paper that I'm using. So this is going to have like some pink icing, and then I'm going to bring in a full little rainbow of colors here. I figured that way it was like a very, I don't know, gender neutral kind of, like this could really be for anybody, because all of the holidays are just for everybody. I really love the pink frosting, how that worked out. I did R24, R22, and R20, which is not a combination I reach for often. For the blues, I did pull in the same blues as the 4th of July bear. For the reds, I used the same as the Christmas bear. For the oranges, I pulled the same in from the Halloween bear. So I tried to pull in coordinating colors where I could, and because I used blue on the candle, I added purple to my little rainbow stripe. For this, he can't be a bear, but maybe he is like a little hamster or something. I don't know. He's adorable. But I changed up the colors just a little bit. So I went with those E20s, so 25, 23, and 21, keeping his little belly lighter than the rest of him. And then for my little 4-leaf clover, I'm pulling in some G28 on his hat and his clover, then some G07, and a little touch of G14 for that brighter pop of green, and a little stripe of yellow for that band on his hat. So I had messed around with some other colors, but I decided in the end that I just wanted more of that pebble cardstock and black ink for the happy. But to help it stand out, I'm going to pop it up with some foam right over that smaller font sentiment, I guess. Yeah, so it says, happy everything, every day, all of the time. And it's just so cute. So I added some thicker easy tear tape to the big tabs that go from the back panel this is what the front panel attaches to. So I want it to be really strong and really hold it well, because this is literally what's keeping our entire card together. I get one side lined up first, press that down really firmly, and then I'll remove the tape backing from the other side and kind of just close the gate there so that I know everything lines up well and will lay flat in my envelope. Then it was time to start assembling our little gathering here. So I took a scrap piece of that pebble cardstock and I'm using it kind of as like a little stage or a tab to hold up and make multiple layers, almost like stadium seating. You know what I mean? We're going to attach this little tab to that shelf that came with our die set, and that shelf is just going to help to hold them up. And we're going to add the little mouse and the little hamster right in front of them. So it kind of disguises and covers up that we added on our own extra layer there. And then to the front panel, I'm adding the New Year's Eve and 4th of July bears. So I just think this is such a fun, happy, any time of the year card, and something that I know I would love to receive. So I hope that this inspires you to play with stamp sets and use them maybe in some new ways, combining things in a different way. And definitely go check out Pink and Main's newest release and go on that hop. All the links are down in the description there for you. I will see you guys back here soon. And until next time, happy crafting.